From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Hello, and welcome to this special edition of Loyola News Chicago. I'm Katrina Lim. We begin with a program in the city of Chicago aimed at helping revitalize neighborhoods. It's called the Large Lots Program, and Alex Whittler shows us how it is helping residents take back their communities.
Lifting communities up by knocking them down. That's how the city hopes to change the South Side's narrative.
Everything they say about Englewood is a lie and a myth.
Rob and Carol founded a nonprofit called I Grow Chicago.
It means connecting communities.
Englewood Alderman Raymond Lopez says it's made a world of a difference.
Making something positive in the community, and I couldn't be prouder.
The city building department increased the number of vacant building demolitions to cut down on the crime happening inside of them. That's how Carol was able to buy iGrow's property. A program called Large Lot allows residents to buy a demolished spot for $1, but there's a catch. The dollar program becomes available in certain high crime areas and only for a certain period of time. Residents are torn between the pros and cons of the demolitions.
Better to have an empty lot to the house falling apart.
Families live in vacant homes. Some of them have felt on hard times and they actually use these vacant homes as a place to live.
Community activists like Paul Norrington know the city has to cut down on crime.
But you still see people hanging out on the streets.
He says he's been waiting years for the program to come to his neighborhood, North Lawndale. After explaining this to City Planning and Development Chair Jeanne Chandler, Norrington's neighborhood was approved.
The plan at this point is to do North Lawndale.
Come September, Norrington and others will have even more opportunities to turn rubble into renewal. Alex Whittler, Loyola News, Chicago.
Another neighborhood issue is in the news this week. The new 606 bike trail runs through several neighborhoods on the western side of Chicago, but not everyone sees the popular path as a good thing. Earlier this week, a large crowd of people marched against the gentrification of Logan Square. Protesters claim the popularity of the trail is driving up rent and forcing people from their homes. The group is proposing property tax rebates for low-income families living near the trail. A local alderman has proposed this to the city, but no decision has been made. Residents of Rogers Park and the Loyola Lakeshore campus have a new option for fast casual dining, Blaze Pizza. Patrick reports on the impression the new restaurant has already made, both good and bad.
Build-your-own pizza chain Blaze Pizza opened its new Loyola location with a bang on Tuesday. Students and neighbors waited in line for an hour or more to claim a free pizza. It was a bold entrance for the pizza joint, but the restaurant also cut itself some local controversy last week. Felice's staff member Sam Schultz recounted the scene of the crime.
3 people from Blaze came in. They were wearing Blaze Pizza outfits, and they announced themselves as employees of Blaze and started handing out coupons and promotions for their store to our patrons who had already been eating at Felice's.
Some students worry that Blaze, whose space is leased by Loyola, threatens Felice's Kitchen, the student-run pizzeria located just down the block. Sean Connolly was president of Felice's when it opened in 2012. He continues to work for Loyola and acknowledges the shifts in demand around the area.
When Felice's first opened, we could still not serve everybody that was out looking for food. There was a real lack of dining options across the board.
But in recent months, Felice's has seen surrounding spaces occupied by more competition from restaurant chains. Felice's recently placed an ad in their front window distinguishing the store as a neighbor, not a franchise.
And I think that small businesses across the city of Chicago, and especially in Rogers Park, find some resonance with trying to say, look, we're a small business, we're your neighbor, we're the actual people who are living right next to you every day.
According to Summur Roberts, who works in Loyola's Department of Campus and Community Planning, the idea for Blaze Pizza actually came from the community.
We asked people to send an email to our Facebook and give us their ideas about businesses that they would like to see come to the area. And if I'm not mistaken, Blaze was one of those suggestions.
Ultimately, Felice's staff are hopeful the new restaurants will bring more foot traffic to the block. And there's at least one thing they're confident they can cook up that no other nearby restaurant can: mac and cheese pizza. Patrick Judge, Loyola News, Chicago.
Blaze employees told us they gave out almost 1,500 free pizzas on their opening day. The season for fresh produce and farmers markets is just around the corner. Alex Schmitz reports on why this may be more important than you think, and how Loyola is helping students understand the importance of their eating choices.
But this time, since we wanted
The No Impact Meal program is rethinking food on campus. No Impact Meal, or NIM, has been led by 4 sustainability interns since the spring of 2015. 2 to 3 times a semester, the program prepares a local and sustainable dinner in different Loyola residence halls. Sustainability intern Shayna Milst says the purpose of the program is to teach students how food affects our environment.
Most of the students that we work with, like one girl in there just now was like, I had no idea that, I've heard of seasonality, but I didn't realize it was that important.
NIM teaches students how they can reduce their environmental impact by eating locally and in season. This particular NIM was in Simpson Hall, but past events include Marquette South and Regis. All the food supplied is from local vendors in order to teach students how to cook and shop. The program also composts food scraps instead of throwing them away. Loyola freshman Ahnika Kroll says the program has inspired her to change her eating habits.
It's not something that you think of being able to do on this tight budget. I live in a dorm, I only have access to the dining halls, and all of that seems to be a problem, but this program shows you how you can fix that.
No Impact Meal stems from a larger food initiative on campus. Loyola composts more than 11 tons of food waste each month. And Grand Cafe and the Institute of Environmental Sustainability sells local products from within a 150-mile radius of campus. Sustainability intern Meghan Pazik says No Impact Meal aims to connect students to these initiatives.
You as an individual can make a difference in your purchasing power. So it's not only about building community with your food system, but it's building community within Loyola.
Not only does the meal taste fresh, it also contributes to Loyola's environmental efforts. Alex Schmidt, Loyola News, Chicago.
If you're looking to buy local, the Loyola Farmers Market begins June 6th, just outside the Loyola L Stop. And coming up on Loyola News, how one Loyola student is combating stereotypes on body image, and a graduation ceremony with a big surprise. More on that when we come back.
Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Maybe you should go to your shelter and get a mature dog who will make your blues disappear. How's that for tricks? I got picked. Wow.
Email is a great way for professors and students to efficiently communicate, but a new feature in Loyola's email system caused some problems this semester. Madeline Kenney reports on how the feature called the clutter box seemed to make some emails disappear.
A feature intended to filter Microsoft users' emails is creating more problems than it is solving. The clutter box was created to move low-priority messages to a separate inbox. This helps users scan emails faster and more efficiently. However, many students say this new app has caused them to miss important emails from professors, the university, and even potential future employers.
I've also had experiences where heads of departments have emailed me with newsletters or important information, and it'll go to my clutter box.
I was getting a lot of my graduation notifications and email statuses about my graduation in my clutter box, but I didn't realize it.
It's really hard to communicate with my professor when I think that I'm sending them an email and expecting a quick response. And then all of a sudden I check my inbox and I have nothing. But then when I go to class, they're like, I sent you an email.
Loyola is not the only university having flaws with clutter. According to student newspapers, Creighton University, Michigan State University, and the University of Iowa are all experiencing the same glitch. ITS student worker Spencer Christensen says the IT department has been made aware of these issues.
I do know that. I think they're aware of it at the very least, and they're trying to remedy it.
On April 29th, the IT department sent a university-wide email regarding issues with the Clutterbox feature. The IT department says it has added a system rule to ensure Loyola emails will bypass the Clutterbox and be directly sent to the email inbox. While ITS is not deactivating the Clutterbox feature, students can manually do it themselves. By logging onto your LUC email account, you go to Settings. From there, you go down to Mail, and then on the left-hand side, Clutter. And then you deselect Separate items identified as clutter. For additional help, you can email ITS directly at helpdesk@luc.edu. Madeline, Kenney, Loyola News, Chicago.
Some students say they like the idea of the clutter box, but believe ITS and Microsoft need to fix the filter. From a young age, women are flooded with images of what their bodies should look like. Taylor Utzig shows us how one Loyola fitness instructor is trying to change that.
For some fitness instructors, it's all about the perfect body. But for Loyola senior Mary Kesinger, it's all about balance. That is, the balance between being healthy and being happy. Kesinger is a fitness instructor at Hallis, Loyola's on-campus gym. Despite being a competitive dancer for most of her life, Kessinger's real fitness journey didn't begin until her freshman year of college.
When I got to college and wasn't active all the time, wasn't having my mom cook me meals, make sure I was getting fed between dance classes, it was like all my own and trying to find my own routine, my own balance.
After taking several group workout classes at Loyola, Kesinger found her passion for fitness and became a certified instructor. She also became involved on social media, endorsing weight loss products from brands like Beachbody. But she quickly found out that it wasn't exactly what she expected.
I did it for a while and then it just felt it wasn't real, it wasn't me, it felt fake and forced, and I didn't think it was like promoting good health habits.
That's when Kesinger found Charge, a health and fitness group that works to empower college-aged women throughout the U.S. Not only does Kesinger take part in Charge events in Chicago, she also has her own Charge blog, where she's able to educate and empower other women. Along with her blog, Kesinger has more than 3,000 Instagram followers who follow her fitness journey. Her posts have even inspired some Loyola women.
It's not overly working out or overly eating healthy, like it's being completely equal in all aspects, which is a really nice way, I think, to look at it. And I've gone to a couple of her classes kind of just because of her social media.
Promoting a healthy body image is a main focus of both Kessinger's and Charge. Kesinger believes it is important because of how distorted expectations of beauty and health have become in the media. She hopes to continue empowering women by helping to start an official Charge chapter at Loyola in the next few years. Taylor Utzig, Loyola News, Chicago.
After she finishes a master's degree in business administration at Loyola, Kesinger hopes to one day start her own fitness studio or a brand. Getting a job as a new graduate can be difficult, but it can be even harder if you're also overcoming a stereotype. Monique James reports on one more thing some graduating seniors may have to worry about.
Hannah Schletter is a Loyola student who is majoring in psychology. She is preparing to graduate in May, and like many seniors, she is applying for jobs and is anxious to get hired for a job in her desired career.
Eventually I would hope to do some type of addictions counseling or something with counseling or therapy in the criminal justice field as well.
But Schletter may face one hurdle some other seniors don't. She has a tattoo, which is not always accepted by employers in professional careers.
I really liked the saying that I had put on my body, I guess. It meant a lot to me, and it just kind of keeps me somewhat in check.
Camille Hilkowski is the Associate Director of Loyola's Career Development Center. Halkowski says students should be aware of the expectations for the career they're pursuing when going on job interviews.
I think it depends a lot on what career, what industry, also what role they're playing, in terms of whether or not tattoos and piercings are sort of culturally acceptable.
Although tattoos are culturally acceptable in many contexts, Halkowski says some companies accept workers with tattoos and piercings, while others are still against it.
Certainly, piercings and ink are a part of lots of people's everyday lives. But again, organizations have different standards sometimes, and they're aware of those things, and so some people fit into that, some don't.
Schlutter believes people should not be labeled by employers just because they have a tattoo.
So I don't really understand why it's such like a stigma in the workplace. I don't know, just because somebody has a tattoo on them doesn't make them any less able to do the work that's required of them.
Negative stereotypes some people associate with tattoos may continue, and until tattoos are more universally accepted, students like Hannah Schlutter will have to deal with labels that come along with their creative expression. Monique James, Loyola News, Chicago.
According to the New York Times, 1 in 5 U.S. adults now has a tattoo. And finally today, graduation ceremonies may often seem a bit dull, but that wasn't the case at one East Coast college. A university in Maine allowed a graduating student to pop the question to his girlfriend during the commencement ceremony. After congratulating the class of 2016, he strolled to the back of the room where his girlfriend was sitting, pulled the ring from his pocket, and got down on one knee. And she said yes. The couple says they will continue to focus on their education before getting married. Congratulations to the happy couple. That's our news for today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.